Hey everyone, it's Dave with Alaskan Homesteading again. Today I have a woodshed project video for you. I am working on building the first wall, so this is going to be post and beam kind of construction. The first wall is going to be the back wall, and I showed you the post hole digging video the other day. Now I'm getting these posts set. I've got 2 set to begin with, and I'm going to try and set the other 2 today, get that finished up so that I can put the beam across the top and then get to work on the front wall. The challenges that I'm having today are going to be related to doing this single-handed. I don't have the assistance of my partner today. She is working on some apple cider and other fall goodies inside, so I am working on construction by myself today. So you may see me doing some kind of funny things, and this is going to be one of those moments where I'm living by the motto, if it looks stupid but it works, it isn't stupid. Because you're going to see some things that are going to look probably pretty stupid. I'm certainly no expert at construction, and when I undertake this project, I do so knowing that I am just gonna figure my way through it one way or the other. I've watched a lot of people build a lot of things, but I have very little construction experience, so I am just gonna do what I think will work. At any rate, let's get started. So earlier today, I got started by setting these 2 posts in place. I used a little bit of bracing, a couple of the 2x4s that I made on my mill, just to help get them in place while I got it leveled out. I had mounted this sort of cross brace, I think you would call it a girt, on the back here, and that's about as level as I'm going to get with this type of engineering. It is certainly not super precise, but it's going to be good enough to hold up the beam that's going to go across the 4 posts. These 2 posts are fairly plumb, within a 1/16 of a bubble or something, so I think I'm pretty satisfied with where they're sitting. And I've got the posts dug nice and deep with I think really they're about 3 feet in, and they're going to get filled up pretty deep with gravel at the top. That is going to have to do for this situation. And this is the last hole that I was working on earlier today. I realized after running my string line across that the posts were not really lined up very well, so I had to go ahead and dig some more by hand with the trusty old hand post hole digger. But this is dug in pretty deep, and now I've got enough space in the bottom to pour in more gravel to get this raised up to the right height corresponding with those other 2 posts, and then we'll repeat for the last post of the back wall. And so we're going to have about 24 feet and 2 inches of wall in the back. The beam that we built is just around that size, 24 foot and a few inches. So let's get started. I'll have another girt across the back here. And what's going to happen is I'm going to attach that over there with a couple of screws to hold it in place. Attach it over here, and then I'm going to have to bring this board up, this post up, so that the bottom edge of this is level with this line. So I need a good 6 inches or so of gravel in the bottom of this hole to raise this post up to the right height. This way I can brace it in place at about the right height. Like I said, you're going to see me do some things that you might judge as stupid, but they're just what I have to do to get the job done working single-handed. And sometimes that's just how things are. now I can put my level on that board and find out. Oh, we are way off. That's okay. There we go. So now that's level and will serve as a reference point to place the next post. This line needs to be right there. No problem. Start pouring gravel in. Another 3 inches or so. About another inch. Oh, we're pretty much right there. Let's compact this a bit and see how we do. Figure if I get some good compaction on that gravel, then these posts will sit here at the right height for a pretty long time. Might have dropped a little too much gravel in there. Have to scoop some out. Yep, a little too much. That's okay. Getting closer. There we go. That's probably about as good as it needs to be. Got our little reference line there. And let's check and make sure that our girt is still level. And it is. It could be maybe up just a tiny, tiny bit. But overall, again, this is going to be slightly imprecise, but I think it's going to work. 30.5, yep, good. All the little reference lines are lined up. Well, we got this pretty well plumbed in. I think for somebody with really no construction experience to speak of, doing this work single-handed, that's not too bad. I mean, we're well within the margin of error for something like this. It's just a woodshed. I got to keep reminding myself, it's just a woodshed. Ladies and gentlemen, you might ask yourself at this point, how much gravel is he going to put in there? The answer is, he doesn't know. But the point is to have gravel at the bottom so that there's at least some potential for drainage. This is really just clay soil down, 4 feet, 5 feet, who knows. And I want to make sure these posts last a while. So gravel first, then fill in with the rest of this clay that's around us. I'm sure some of you who are watching this have done these kind of tasks before. Maybe you have some advice or some criticisms. Go for it. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you know. I've never set a post in the ground in my life. Never before. Some of you are probably saying, yeah, and it shows. Well, you're right. It does show. Because of all the rain we've had, all the clay that got excavated when we were drilling these holes sort of melted and flattened out into this area here. So I end up having to dig new holes just to get some more clay to fill in these holes. It's maybe a little Kafka-esque, but what are you gonna do? And then when I think I'm done, I'm gonna hit that with the tamper, and we'll see how much more gravel, or sorry, how much more soil I need to throw on top. Well, I don't know if you can see the string line that well in this video, but I think I have a little deviation in my wall. Looks like about a 1/4 inch between these between these 3 posts. Like I said, this thing isn't going to be perfect, but it is going to be done. And that is what's going to have to matter for right now. We've got to be okay because those 2 girts are level. And they are affixed at the same points on these posts. So regardless of how it looks to the eye, those posts have to be set at the same height. Remeasure. We've got 30.5 inches from the top of the post to the top of this girt. 30.5 inches from the top of this post to the top of this girt. Girt is level. So there we go. And now I have to do the last one. All right, let's pick a nice 2x6 off the pile here. This guy looks pretty good. Let's see what length we have. That is 98 3/4. Yep. 1.5 inches. 5.5. So that'll be our last girt. Now I've got to measure distance from this post to the next hole, which I know is going to be off. The truly disheartening thing here is that I'm going to have to dig out this hole some more, but I want to make sure I dig it out in the right spot. So that looks like that's going to be another 99 or 98.5 inches. Then I need to dig here pretty much. All that work with the post hole auger just for pretty much nothing. Ugh. Got to learn some better techniques for laying things out. But half the problem is just not even being able to control the auger properly. The saving grace here is that with the original hole dug out like this, widening it isn't actually all that much work. I'm just kind of scraping down the side. And I've got lots of room to open up the jaws. All right, let's see how close I got that. That'll be 99 to the end. That's pretty good. It's about exactly what I want. And once again, presetting these screws. Oops. Same procedure as before. We'll set this here. Use this brace to hold it up while I get that attached to that post. Perfect. Sometimes you forget about the tools that you have sitting around. And an extra hand appears as if by magic. That's level. last post. In case you're wondering about all the gunfire, no, I don't live in an active war zone. There's just a shooting range a couple of miles away over against the mountains. And so the sound just reverberates over here when people are over there having some freedom fun. As you can see, this post hole is not deep enough because that reference line needs to be at the top edge of this girt. So I need to go down another 3.5 or so inches. But we're almost done. We're in the home stretch for today, so that is awesome. So I only have another few inches to go down here to get that post hole deep enough for the last post. And luckily, the digging is going well. This reference line is now slightly below, so that's good. That means I can add some gravel to raise the post up. I'm going to dig down just a couple more inches so I have more gravel underneath the post. So this reference line needs to be at the top of this dirt, and we've got a couple of inches which I can now fill with gravel. Well, we've gotten pretty close again. I'd say in that spot, again, we're about as plumb as we need to be. That's left to right. And then front to back, there's certainly nothing wrong with that. So I can go ahead and secure that girt onto here. And then we can start filling that final hole. Turns out we are not good. My girt settled a little bit and it had gotten out of level. Good thing I checked, got it back to level. So now I have about another ½ inch of, more like an inch of gravel to add. Okay, good. Oh, that's nice. Are we still level? We are. Okay, good. That is plumb. The girt is level. And now I can fill in that post hole. Digging holes to fill more holes. Well, I've got my back wall established, 24 feet and 3/4 of an inch. Well, maybe 5/8 really. Take the sag out of this tape measure. Yeah, 24 foot and 5/8, which is just perfectly fine. My beam is a little bit slightly longer than 24 feet by just a few inches, and the wall came out nice and straight. The posts are plumb, the girts are level, and now it's beginning to rain. So I think that is going to be a wrap for today. All right, folks, well, that's all the time I have for today on this project. I got the pieces done that I wanted to get done. I now have the 4 posts set in place. They are plumb, and they are going to be ready to have the beam set on top. The beam is going to be a separate project. That'll be a different day, or maybe later this afternoon if it stops raining, but I don't want to work on that while it's wet out here and we're trying to handle a beam that weighs a couple 100 pounds. It's just not worth the risk. We'll use the tractor to help keep it up there in position while we secure it with a couple of the brackets and fasteners that we have for it. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that one of these days I'll earn your subscription. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.